of Canada Championship.
Well, it's going to be a big one. Keep in mind, London has been the recipient of 5 championships. 5 championships, Windsor with 2. London's won it in 12, 13, 17, 18, and 2022 last year. The Express went back-to-back in 2014 and 2015. Cameron Lard and Justin Moss will tip things off for their respective teams. Tuesday night here at the WFCU Center. We're glad that you're with us. We are underway here for Game 3. Jeremiah Mordi starts with the ball. And it's over to Cameron Lard. Lard inside the Jermaine Haley, the BC native. His shot is off the mark, and he's able to get the first 2 to go to give the Lightning a 2-0 lead. And Cameron Lard has been one of those big guys that has made a difference here for the London Lightning. Billy's first touch of the ball, and he knocks down the 3. And Billy White, one of those few players that can catch and shoot, and we've seen that here time and time again, and that's how he gets things started for the Red and Black.
Absolutely. We talked about him at the beginning of this game, and going back to last too, sometimes it's about the intangibles for Billy White. That being said, he can still drain a 3 from anywhere.
We'll see how London counters that. Jermaine Haley Jr. hands it right on over. The 3 is good for Jeremiah Mordi.
Looked like it was going to be short, but just perfect.
Well, keep in mind, you got so little space to deal with on the sideline, so it could go either way as the 5-3 lead goes to London. The ball goes out of bounds, and the Express will inbound it from underneath. Best of 5 series tied at a win apiece. Games 3 and 4 here in Windsor tonight and Thursday night. Here's Nick Garn for the ball, guarded by Mordi. Guard thought about the shot, almost threw it away. Davis. So again, that's one of the key things you have to consider when it comes to this finals. It's all on the front court, yet at the same time, the backcourt for both of these clubs, very underrated. We are tied at 7 as Terry Thomas has the ball. Thomas driving on Davis, fires it from the side. Goes in and out like a fast food restaurant. And Davis comes away with it. And they skip it over to Garth. Garth trying to drive by Mordi. He hits the deck. 9 to shoot. Davis met by the double, streaks through, kisses it off the glass and puts it up and in. It's like he ran a marathon there before the shot clock ran out, but he was able to get that 2 to go. Here's Mordi on the wraparound pass to Thomas. Thomas in deep to Cameron Lard. Nice in and out dribble. Back to Terry Thomas. And he can't get that 3 to go. And it will be lightning ball. Justin Moss touching the line in the attempt to try to save the ball. And this spells trouble for the Express because London continues to beef up their lineup. Kurt Jonkuch is in the game. A very interesting story about Kurt Jonkuch. We'll get to that during the next dead ball. In the meantime, he gives the ball over to Mordi. Mordi at the free throw line. Fakes once, twice, gets the foul and the bucket. And he's off to the line for the and one. So Jeremiah Mordi doing all the right things, shot it off balance, knew he was going to get the contact. And now he's looking to give the Lightning a 1-point edge. And he does just that. Close game so far, different story in the first quarter Saturday night as the Express found themselves down by double digits at the end of the first. Justin Moss going behind the back, way outside his range. He goes deep to his zone and gets it slapped out of bounds. We'll stay with Windsor with 7:53 to go. In the meantime, Diego Kaplan will check in for London. Second year in the NBLC for him. Spent 2018-19 in Newfoundland as part of the St. John's Edge. And he's been a nice addition for the Lightning, averaging 11 points in this postseason alone. Guard trying to drive. He goes right in from the left, fires it around the free throw line, and he gets it. What's a 401 rivalry without a little shootout?
You know that's going to happen eventually, Aaron. And again, still so early in this game. Let's see where this one takes us. I mean, really not until about halfway through do
Well, the Express will get the ball almost halfway into the first quarter, and Tanner Stuckman checks in as Justin Moss has a seat. Now, remember, Tanner didn't have a big game, but he ended up with 8 points and 8 rebounds. He was playing a little bit under the weather. We'll see if he has improved since Saturday night. Davis streaking right into the lane, in from the right, and he draws contact. So the first 2 free throws are coming up for Latin Davis.
We talked about him, and we talked about how in fuego he has been. He's been on fire this postseason, and he's been a rock for the Windsor Express.
Look at all that stats in the double-double on Saturday night, too. 87.5 free throw shooter is Latin Davis. To win a piece. White will try again. And that one goes off the back iron. Thomas looking to dance. Thomas drives in and he puts it up and in. So Terry Thomas makes it a 4-point game. Jackson connects on a 3. That's going to be a timeout, and Doug Plum is not happy with Cameron Lard, so we'll take a timeout here. 4:05 to go. The Express up 4 here on NBLC TV. Welcome back to NBLC TV. In the words of the great Cody Rhodes, Drake, so what do you want to talk about?
See, the reason he says that because everyone knows what we need to talk about right now. And I mean, we came off the broadcast here before the media timeout, and wow, what a little run for the Windsor Express, but what a reception from head coach Doug Plum, and giving it to his team. But you know what, a little bit of tough love sometimes is what exactly you need, and you see them coming out with a little bit of fire right now. Well, Jeremiah Mordi leading his team.
Well, Plum is no nonsense, the BC native, so he's going to let you hear it 99% of the time. There's no let up when it comes to Plum. Mordi fakes, dices, slices, can't get it in, but he's going to have to earn those 2 points the hard way. Jeremiah Mordi, one of those players that no stranger to the NBLC, of course. Riptide, Moncton Magic before the pandemic. Was named the all-first team member when the season shut down 3 years ago. And Mordi hits the back iron for that first one. Now this is coming from a player that shoots 92.5% from the line.
Sometimes just being out of your element in the enemy's territory can make a difference there. As he goes 0 for 2, Aaron. A rare feat.
Well, it works out in the Express's favor as they have the ball. Bring it up court. Had a nice chat with Jim Parker of the Windsor Star during the media timeout. So a lot of local personalities here as Jackson tees up a 3, and he can't get that one to go. A little too hasty on the 3-pointers for both of these clubs. Nuga streaking in, and he can't get the reverse to go.
Looking for that signature little layup from Mike Nuga.
Oh, wouldn't that have been pretty? On the other end, Latin Davis with a little
like Flubber moving in and out between everybody. It's Latin Davis.
We've seen that so many times in the season. The former Pharaoh from the Basketball League making his presence known. 9-point game, 3 minutes to go. Mordi, that shot rattles in and out. Back comes Davis in the Windsor Express. The skip pass to White. Inside, battling Isom, and he beats the battle.
Latin Davis telling Billy White, this is yours, take it to the hoop, and he did just that.
It is still early in this game, an 11-point game.
Early. What a run, like you said, Aaron. The Windsor Express only got a 4-point lead at the beginning of the first quarter last game. This is definitely surpassing it.
Thomas puts it up and in, so nice putback from Terry Thomas to make it a 9-point game. So single-digit lead once again for the Express with 2:20 to go.
You can always rely on Terry Thomas if you're a member of the London Lightning.
Billy hits the deck.
Speaking of which.
And will we have a tie-up or a foul? There will be a tie-up, and it's a smart idea from Billy White, even though he slipped on that spot. Put the clamps down on the ball.
Try to control the momentum a little bit as well. They have it on their side just a bit. Do not let the London Lightning take it. Rather take a jump ball here than anything.
But keep in mind, too, because of that jump ball, once the ball is in play, that switches the possession arrow. So if they tie up once again, London will have the possession for those of you tuning in for the first time.
Well, it's not worth it to get into it twice, so let's take advantage of this.
Let's see if they go deep. Billy White, he can't move, so he defers it back to Jackson. 8 to shoot. He's guarded by Haley. Here's Stuckman over Isom. Putter there. In his face. Tanner Stuckman.
getting more and more comfortable with that as number 24, Tanner Stuckman. We talked about it all season. He's been working on that three, and in pressure can get it done as well.
Isom
But
with a
little bit
long
of an
two.
answer from the London Lightning.
Some activity following the basket from Isom. They counted it as a long two. That makes it 28-18 as he stepped on the line. seconds here. Shot clock, game clock, 2-second difference. Garth inside to Stuckman, plays ping pong with it and is taken away. Here's Terry Thomas Jr. on the drive. Alley-oop, Haley Jr.
Oh my God. Back and forth with the highlights right now.
Well, you think Doug Plum must be pleased with this kind of performance coming out of the timeout. 2.1 seconds to go, whistle on the play. So the officials meeting up to see what's the situation here. Could be a clock discrepancy, but I still see 2.1 on the clock, so we'll go with that. Jackson poked away by Terry Thomas. That shaves off about a second off the clock. So Jason Calise will take 2 here. 1.3 to go, enough for a catch and shoot. As Calise sends it to Garth. Garth fires it, makes a wish, almost got it to go. As the first quarter comes to a close, the Windsor Express taking a 32-24 lead heading in to the second quarter. We will have the second quarter for you when we return on NBLC TV.
The new deluxe pizza sub from Subway. Tasty pizza bread filled with your favorite pizza toppings. Don't forget the napkins. Dig in to Subway's new deluxe pizza sub today.
Back in Windsor, Game 3 of the NBL Canada Finals. The Express with an 8-point lead over the London Lightning as we are set to go here in the second quarter. Along with Drake Demore, Aaron Sanders here at the WFCU Center. What a start for the Windsor Express. Went on a little bit of a run. Doug Plum not happy, so they found a way to get back into this ball game. And now they look to expand that. London looking to recover from what was a tough first quarter.
We're going to get back to work as the London Lightning. Again, still early in this game. Maybe a bad first quarter, but a lot of chance for redemption, as we see just there. Lance Adams getting his first of the night.
Lance Adams, in his second year, played for the Lansing Pharaohs in the middle of last season before being picked up by the London Lightning in time for the championship run. 32-27 score on NBLC TV. Latin Davis trapped, bailed out by you-know-who, Turbo, and his first shot Right back from the Sudbury 5 in the final few games of the season, and travel is called. The ball will go the other way. And Justin Moss checks right back in. So on the floor for the Express, Jackson, Moss, Calise, Davis, and White. Latin Davis trying to grapevine through everybody. The chest pass over, and the ball will go the other way. Well, we could see that his hops hasn't been affected that much.
I know he had to get that one in.
Despite
Just for himself.
Well, it's good to see, and
Absolutely.
I was catching him shooting during the shoot-around this morning. It's safe to say that he's ready to go for tonight's game.
And no pun intended, he's had a bit of an up-and-down season, just battling some injuries and stuff like that this season. So nice to see him back in this postseason. First playoff game of the year for him.
And first playoff game since Game 3 of last year in that semifinals, which was against London, believe it or not. Terry Thomas Jr., tough shot, and he puts it up and in.
That puts the London Lightning to three-point deficit, chipping away from the beginning of the second quarter.
And here's Billy White, guarded by Haley, and it's back to Taylor. Taylor trying to drive on the right side, and they kick it right out to Latin Davis, who can't connect on the three. Bounces once, twice, thrice. Back tap, and Calise saves the ball. And now Billy White will take it in himself. Over to Turbo for three. Can't get it. So with 9:41 to go, London could tie the game here or cut the lead to 1. Haley cuts the lead to 1. And that's a timeout from Bill Jones, if any. A scoring run from the London Lightning, no pun intended. They came out like lightning, streaking through, and now they're down by 1. Windsor Express playoff basketball is presented by Accountability. We'll be back after the break. quarter. Here's Nuga. Down to 8 on the 24. Nuga driving in from the left, guarded by Moss, stops around, fires away, and hits it. That's the first lead for the London Lightning. And I believe that's going to be a foul on the Lightning following the basket. And it is. Kurt Jonkuch not happy with the performance so far tonight. But again, with the way he plays, he has to be careful too. Another one of those big guys that made a huge difference for London down the home stretch of the regular season. And now it's Latin Davis cutting in from the right and switches it up with the left. So a little bit of a back and forth NASCAR style game.
I was just going to say, for the time being, we could be back to that old school shootout.
How about Haley?
Oh, no.
Haley, and it's volleyballed out of bounds by Billy White. But again, you got to admit, that spin move from Jermaine Haley to use his body to create enough separation to get that fadeaway off of Billy White, that's talent to a T.
Absolutely. With his height, his speed, again, it's the speed that comes into play in this game. Such a fast game in this league.
Postwork's so polished. Meanwhile, Terry Thomas hits the triple.
Ouch.
So back to a 2-point game in favor of London. The defending champs against the two-time champs, who haven't been in the NBLC finals since 2015. Here's Billy White over Haley, and he gets it to go.
Nice. Another 1, 2, 3. Billy White.
So that puts the Express right back up ahead for the time being. Here's Mike Nuga. Haley on the mismatch from Jackson. Haley misses the layup. Oh, how about that bullet pass? And here's Justin Moss going all the way for the blowdown.
Just when he thought he could do it all, he pulls out something we have not seen before. What a jam by Justin Moss.
I haven't seen that since his days at the Orangeville A's. Meanwhile, Mike Nuga silences the crowd with that easy go-ahead layup.
But again, to your point, Aaron, great passing, go-ahead pass from Billy White. And a great look from Latin Davis to put it over.
Oh, Shazam!
And again, another 3 from Billy White. He was unstoppable from out there today.
Billy White making it a 4-point game as we're almost halfway into the second. What a phenomenal game this has been so far. He's in double digits in the leading score.
Already. He is 4 for 5 on his 3-pointers so far.
Whoa!
And he could have drawn a big foul there, but
here's Latin Davis.
He didn't need it.
Oh,
wait a minute.
They're going to count it because Mike Nuga blocked it on its way down. So Latin Davis should thank his lucky stars he was able to get that 2 go. But let's go back on the other end. Billy White shutting any chances down right in the paint. That led to the nice transition from the Express.
Putting the Express on his back right now. What a run. Just when the London Lightning were taking over, the Windsor Express answered and said, we're still here.
It wouldn't be a rivalry without some intense games. Khalees hits the floor, and it's going to be a tie-up. It's going back to the Express. 6:17 to go. And Khalees is known to be scrappy when the opportunity presents itself. He picked up a technical foul in game 2. Well, you have to imagine if he's really riding off of that fuel from that game 2 loss and just putting it right on the floor tonight.
He can be scrappy and he knows when to do it, but another thing that he knows how to do is win championships. He's done it before and he knows we're in the final, putting your body on the line like I talked about before. He'll do anything for that ball. Right now,
That's short. Moss again. And it's taken away by Terry Thomas. Thomas beating Khalees off the dribble behind his back, puts it up and in, count it, and the foul. So Terry Thomas will try to complete the 3-point play following the media timeout. And so far, it is the Express with the lead as they are up by 7 as we take this media time out, I think. It's either they'll wait till, they may wait until after the free throw. We'll see. But yet in the meantime, Terry Thomas heads to the line. A lot of reliable players have played in the NBLC over the years, and he's one of them. And he misses the free throw.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah. But again, back to your point, Aaron, maybe potentially one of the best ever.
No question about it. From the Maritimes, too. So that has to say a lot. Here's Jason Calise with a pass to Jackson. He's looking for Davis. Has to take it in himself, and that's going to be a foul on Jeremiah Mordi.
Sporting that face shield, I don't think he was earlier in the game, or he has a toothache. I'm not sure.
There's been a lot of action and been a lot of flying hands and
a lot of
whatnot.
Well.
Yeah. Well, you have to expect that when it's the 401 rivalry.
Absolutely, got to adapt.
This may not be the Knights and the Spits, but best believe when it comes to pro basketball, they have a rivalry. Jackson again. Unbelievable.
From the Bird, number 5, to Myron Jackson.
That brings the lead up to 10 with 4:42 to go. They decide to play on. Thomas from downtown and hits. So Terry Thomas, the East Preston, Nova Scotia native, knocking it down. The Express led by as much as 11. Was able to regain the lead after a dismissal start to the second quarter. Here's Latin Davis through the grapevine and all. William Claiborne into the game. And no basket. That's going to be on Claiborne. Big credit to Marek Isom for holding his own off of that. And we have... Well, wait a minute. They called a foul on Isom. That is interesting to say the least. Because it looked like for a second from up here, folks, it looked like Isom held his ground. But remember, the officials are here for a reason. They saw another way. With that, the Express are back into it, and they have the ball again. This time, here's Moss cutting through the basket, and that's going to be another foul on London. And Doug Plum is not happy.
He is animated, to say the least.
And Plum is diagramming the previous play. Remember, he used to play basketball too.
He was a great player. We know that.
In the university, the UBC Thunderbirds. So you could tell where he got his passion, right back home in BC. Meantime, Justin Moss at the line. And he delivers on the first. In the meantime, Billy White will check in. Claiborne will check out as he's had some difficulty right down low since checking in for the first time here in Game 3. So the Lightning need a stop here to keep this game close. 16 fouls for Windsor, out of fouls to give. 14 fouls for London. They got 2 more to give. Haley stops in his tracks, almost poked away by Garth. Here's Nuga from the corner, and he delivers. So that's the stop they needed. It's back to a 2. Slowing things down as they try to establish the tempo here in Windsor. Minute 5. Davis behind the back, can't hit it. So we're back at a close game, under a minute to go. Deep pass inside to Mordi. Mordi fades away and hits it off the glass and puts it in. This is the kind of game you love to see.
like you said, Aaron, an exciting one.
Oh, White with the fake.
Thought he was going to go for it for sure.
And Mordi, nice heads-up opportunity from him. Because if he didn't pay attention to that, Nick Garth would have been open from deep. 32 and 3/10 seconds to go. Garth with the ball, gets the screen from Stuckman and is poked away. And it's Jeremiah Mordi with daylight. A one-point game now for Windsor. And this is something that the Lightning fans love to see. They're no strangers to making a comeback after being down from much. So the shot clock is off for the final 12 seconds here in the first half. Billy White guarded by John Cooch. White for three. Shazam! Billy White knocks it down. Final seconds. Mordi over to John Cooch. Can't get it off in time as the Windsor Express escape the first half with a 56-52 lead. That's your score at halftime. Drake and I will be back for the stats and facts of the first half in just a minute. This is Windsor Express Playoff Basketball on NBLC TV, presented by Accountability.
Meatballs don't grow on trees. Or do they? Plant-based Beyond Meatballs are now at Subway. Try them on the mouth-watering Beyond Meatball Marinara Sub. Beyond Meatballs, only at Subway.
Subway. Great and safe every day. Sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Inner grilled wrap for just $4.50. Great and safe at Subway. Great and safe every day.
Minutes to play here. This game is just getting started in a sense. Only a 4-point deficit for the London Lightning. And again, like I said during the first half, we're going to have a whole new game in the second half, no doubt about it. We don't know what's going to happen, but we know it's going to be interesting.
We have seen in the first two games of the finals that the third quarter makes a huge difference. In game one, the Windsor Express found a way to hold on to a lead that was as big as 5 or 7 points heading into the final quarter. In game two, we saw fireworks in game two with that little skirmish with Billy White and Mike Nuga and the supporting cast. We're underway here in the third quarter as the Express start with the ball. And if you think you've seen enough fireworks during this long Victoria Day weekend, you are sadly mistaken as Jamyron Jackson tries to open up the scoring but can't get it to go. We may see more fireworks here before you know it, even out of this Victoria Day weekend, which incidentally, hope you enjoyed it. This is Jermaine Haley, hands it off to Mike Nuga. Nuga trying to drive, he's guarded by Davis. Thomas looking for a seal, but he'll have to take it in himself, and he can't get it to go. The shot clock was at 2, so he had to put it up anyway. Back comes Jackson in the Express. Jackson all alone, and he gets his own miss. What a way to start the third quarter. Jamyron Jackson just taking the double team out of the picture once he picked up that rebound.
Yeah, doing his own cleanup there, Jamyron Jackson. Again, he can be so versatile in between the paint there. He can get in his own rebound.
Here's Mordi for three. That is short. And it's tapped to Latin Davis. Billy White and Haley hits the deck. Now White with the ball. He'll size up for a three. That goes in and out. Just started the third quarter here. 2023 NBL Canada Finals and NBLC TV, and Terry Thomas draws the foul. Someone will take a 2-1 series lead by the end of tonight. And Terry Thomas heads to the line. He has been through so much, and so many teams over the number of years he's been in the NBLC. This is his 7th year as he knocks down the first free throw. Island Storm, the Island Storm, the Moncton Magic, the Halifax Hurricanes in his 3rd year with the Lightning, was the finals MVP last year. Looking to redeem and defend his finals MVP award as he goes 2 for 2 at the line.
An MVP, an all-star, and a veteran.
regains the ball. Here's Haley with the finger roll. So it's back to a one-possession game. Game 4 will be in Windsor Thursday night. The championship will be in the house. Who will be one step ahead as Latin Davis gets the step and the bucket from inside the key. will go to the line. Couldn't have asked for a better time to get Justin Moss involved in the game like now.
Something we've seen at the end of this regular season and a lot in the postseason from Justin Moss. He has a chance to tie the game up now.
I have a feeling this may be Ja'Kai Taylor's first time playing with Justin Moss. If not his first game, then probably his second or third game, because keep in mind.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, Taylor. Keep in mind, Taylor's been out since April 21st dealing with some back issues, and he was activated this afternoon. And around that time where Ja'Kai was placed on the injured reserve list, Justin Moss came in the nick of time to help the Express propel through the regular season and the playoffs. So key additions, and we'll see how well they complement each other when we see Ja'Kai Taylor back on the floor. In the meantime, it's Jeremiah Mordi with the ball. Fakes once, fires away. That's off the mark. We are tied at 65 with almost halfway in here in the third quarter. Jackson cutting, and it's out to Davis. Davis poked away by John Cooch, but it will stay with the Express. 9 on the shot clock. So out of bounds as it goes. And Nick Garth gets the inbounds pass, and he's blocked by Mordi. Shot clock winding down to 2. They got to put it up. He does with one leg, and it's off the mark. Thomas all by himself for the 3. Fires it over Jamyron Jackson. And once again, the London Lightning fans coming alive for their team as they are in pursuit of their 6th championship, their 3rd back-to-back run, they hope. Garth with a triple, off the mark, wanted a foul but will not get it. Overhead pass, Mordi for 2. And that's a timeout coming up for Bill Jones, and that is something that is unacceptable. That transition really hurting the Windsor Express as they are down 5 with exactly 6 minutes to go here on NBLC TV. We'll be back in a moment. worked out in their favor. There's a foul down low at the basket, so it will stay with the Express. Nuga and Mordi checks back in for the Bulls. So John Kuch with his third foul. Remember, he picked up 2 before halftime. Ball's in play. Thomas takes it away. And it's Nuga with the throwdown. Not a wise decision from the Windsor Express, just letting the Lightning get into And he's guarded by Khalees. And Nuga goes to the basket, and it's tipped right in by Kurt Jonkuch. So it's a 10-point Lightning lead. One of their biggest leads here in Game 3. Their biggest lead in Game 2 was 22. Now Davis is in trouble with Audi on him. 8 to shoot. Here's Khalees down to 5 and stripped away by Kaplan. What a move from Diego Kaplan to strip one of the best three-point shooters in NBLC history with that move. So Jason Khalees had no choice but to go for the foul immediately. 4th foul. So Kaplan at the charity stripe. Adam Alita checks in. So from one good three-point shooter to another, as the Express makes some adjustments. Diego Kaplan looking for his first 2 points of the game after going 0 for 2 here tonight. And he gets that one to go. He's perfect from the line. 12-point London lead. And the fans who made the trip down from the Forest City letting Windsor have it.
I think this is the biggest lead that the London Lightning have had in this game so far tonight, Aaron.
They sure have. Look at Tanner Stuckman working on Diego Kaplan down low.
Well, after the performance we just seen from him.
White gets fouled.
With a tough shot there.
He's going to have to earn the shots the hard way. With 54.7 seconds to go. He leads the Express in scoring with 21 points and 10 rebounds. He got his double-double. Jackson with 19, Davis 14, Justin Moss with 9 points and 6 rebounds. This is the first free throw. This is his first trip at the line. Not a good way to start things off. Meanwhile, Terry Thomas been the leading man here tonight with 23 points. And White makes the second, makes it 85-74 London. And things have changed dramatically as the London Lightning prevailing here in the third quarter. Nuga again.
Unstoppable right now.
That's Nuga's 15th point as he goes 7 of 14 from the field, 50% overall. Aleda going up against his former team, taken away by Kaplan. Here's Kaplan on the move. Nuga skying in, can't get the alley-oop. And here's Aleda. 15 seconds to go, shot clock is dead. Davis from the left side, and it's swatted away by Mordi. We'll have 5.9 seconds to work with in the final possession of the third quarter. The ball's put into play, and Mordi pokes it away. The defense presence is known from the London Lightning. And the referees are letting both clubs know it. They have had it. There is no fooling around when it comes to both of these teams in the finals, and both of these clubs better make note of that right now. So Latin Davis and Jeremiah Mordi with offsetting technical fouls. So they can consider those technical fouls as a warning. They can't carry on this way as we are about to head into the fourth quarter. So the officiating crew doing a good job making sure that they will not take any guff from anybody as we approach the dying stages here in the third quarter. Overhead to Jackson. Jackson with 4 to shoot. Jackson over Nuga. Can't hit it. And it looks like it's going to be a foul on Lance Adams. What about the placement from Tanner Stuckman to make sure he was able to get that foul? 0.2 seconds to go, too. My gracious. And that puts the Express over the limit. Keep in mind, Drake, they were out of fouls to give with about a few minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and here they are using that contact to their favor. Both clubs now over the limit.
And I was going to mention that at 5 seconds left, I thought we wouldn't get to this point, but this is the first time we've seen it so far this game as well. Both teams being cautious with those fouls, but comes down to the very, very, very millisecond. 0.2 seconds left for Tanner Stuckman to step to the line for some shots.
Well, remember that old saying, every second counts. And now Doug Plum asking for an explanation. And the crowd becoming vocal here in this final 0.2 seconds. So right now it looks like Tanner Stuckman will shoot a pair.
To deceive the time in that play. We have a 74-87 game right now.
We'll be back for the fourth quarter here in Game 3 of the 2023 NBL Canada Finals in just a moment on NBLC TV.
The new deluxe pizza set from Subway. Tasty pizza bread filled with your favorite pizza toppings. Don't forget the napkins. Dig in to Subway's new deluxe pizza sub today.
I got a trick to liven up your lunch break. Leave that food at home and just come to Subway.
What you need, Subway ready, the meatball wraps, plain seasoned turkey, steak, chicken, grilling in this great kitchen.
Okay, Subway ain't no ordinary wraps.
In Windsor, as the London Lightning have a 13-point lead to begin quarter number 4 here. They're looking to go up 2-1 here in this best-of-5 series. Kaplan catch and shoot over Davis. That's off the mark. He was able to get it off in time. And again, the crowd still reeling at the fact that Tanner Stuckman did not get the bucket at the buzzer, but he did hold it in his hands a millisecond too long.
Well, that could be some fire for both the team and the fans going into this final quarter here. Still a chance to come back, but we still have the London Lightning doing what they do best, and that is that scoring and shooting frenzy. They're going to slow it down a little bit here. They got 10 seconds to shoot.
Haley putting it up and in.
They only need 2 or 3.
So a completely different game from the first half. Remember, Windsor was up by 4, and now we see this as a 19-point turnaround as London is near the 90-point mark. Terry Thomas leading scoring with 23 points. Well, he's tied that with Jermaine Haley. Billy White just underneath them by 1 point. He has 22 points, leading the Express in scoring. Down to 5 to shoot. Jackson's got to go, and he puts it in.
Up and over to Myron Jackson.
So Jamyron Jackson able to make it work in the start of the fourth quarter. Game 4 Thursday night, 7 p.m. tip. We'll be on the air at 6:45. Mordi, no looker to Kaplan. That does not go, but the free throws continue to pile up for the London Lightning. Again, look at the situation, Drake. They're about to attempt their 21st and 22nd free throws. Meanwhile, the Express have only had 12. On the bright side for the Express, though, they are a +8 off the glass, 36 rebounds compared to London's 28, 11 of them coming from the offensive boards.
We talked about how important those are.
I think we talked about that at least once or twice throughout the season.
A few times. I mean, it comes up every game, and it's important in every game, but it could win you games as well.
Both free throws go for Kaplan. And free throws could be the name of the game, too. The game comes right down to the nitty-gritty. Right now, London's using that to their advantage. 15-point lead to begin the fourth quarter. Stuckman can't cut it down. Jackson gets the rebound, hops, and scores.
Huge rebound from Myron Jackson there.
And that's what the Express need to do to get back in this game. Get close. Shot is no good. They were looking for the foul, but no matter. Terry Thomas is there to put it in.
Tanner Stuckman hands it right to him.
The Express need to regroup here. They could be 9 minutes away from being down a game. White, count it, and the foul. Oh, Billy White's lucky he got the continuation on that possession.
Windsor Express having improved on their scoring so far in this third quarter here, but again, they have to keep the London Lightning to an all-time minimum. And that is just so hard to do. They have been gradually building up their momentum this entire game, and right now they are in full force. How can the Express shut them down? That's a tough feat for sure.
Well, remember, for the London Lightning, this is a team that averages almost 102 points per game. Windsor averaging 108 as Billy White completes a three-point play. Even though London hasn't been averaging as much points as a lot of people anticipated in the postseason, that doesn't mean there's no close game.
Of course not, but it's crazy to think that this could be a low-scoring game for the London Lightning.
Probably not with 93 points heading into the start of the fourth quarter. Thomas again from the center, and that is short. Back comes Latin Davis and the Windsor Express. Latin Davis cutting in through Audie, and he draws the foul.
Again, the fouls can be so important in this fourth quarter for the Windsor Express. If they can get the London Lightning into the bonus situation, let's get slowly chip away at this. It's only a 12-point lead, so every little bit's going to count. There's 3 throws.
Here's Audie. Audie trying to break free from Stuckman. The cut from Nuga. They get it in deep to John Kutch, who's guarded by White. The jump hook goes. And John Kutch making it work over Billy White as he picks up his 5th point here in game 3. Jackson from the corner. Ball's going to go the other way. And Audie is on the floor. He's able to get right back up. And that's going to be Tanner Stuckman's 4th foul. And the Express need all of their players, especially their bigs, to get back into this game. And Justin Moss checks in right on the nose. 3 fouls for him, 9.6 boards. Mordi on the fake, driving beneath the semicircle. Audi for 3, and he steps on the line. (95-82) is the score. Series tied at a win apiece. That will not be the story come the end of this game. Davis for 3. Latin Davis rings it up. As that brings him up to 18 points of the night. Thomas driving over his former teammate Billy White, can't get it to go. That is a tough layup, and now the Windsor Express back with the ball. Jackson from the corner, and hits. Seven-point game for Windsor. Well, 7-point game for the Bolts, actually. The defending champs are ahead. Mordi on the drive over Moss, and got it. And Jeremiah Mordi continues to make Windsor suffer. He has 18 points off of 50% shooting.
He's had a great night. And you can see it from the beginning of this game that he was going to be a factor for them for sure.
Davis falls away and hits. And Davis and Jackson making sure the Express don't fall asleep at the wheel here in the dying moments in game 3. 6:45 to go. Down deep to John Cooch, and will that be, that's going to be a foul. Looks like it's going to be on Latin Davis.
Yeah.
And if it is on Latin Davis, that will be his 5th foul, which is a gutsy move on his part to go right down low, knowing that you may be a foul or 2 away from being disqualified.
Sometimes you got to take the risk, and was it the time to do that? I mean, we're less than 7 minutes left in this game. 7-point lead. We know that he's been on fire for this team. It's been a rock for them. But so far tonight, Billy White has been the guy to watch. 26 points, just below Myron Jackson with 26 as well. They have a deep squad going full in right now.
Well, the crowd's into it, and the ball hasn't even been in the hands of John Cooch yet. Once again, free throw situation. 82% for the Lightning, 18 of 22, 73% for the Express, 11 of 15. And John Cooch misses the first free throw. And I think that's all in part because of the crowd.
The 6th man is our entire crowd here in the WFCU Center.
Well, let's hear them. And he misses both. Haley on the back tap, and it's secured by John Cooch of all people. Here's Mordi on the drive, trying to go for the behind the back pass, and Police forming a wall. And it gives the Express the ball back.
Like it does, yes. You couldn't see from here after he kind of blocked it out.
Oh, he certainly formed a wall. There's no question about it.
A barrier. For sure.
What a smart play.
Absolutely. And now time for a run for the Windsor Express if they can pull this off.
And the Express lucked out with John Cooch missing both free throws. Now they have to convert immediately. Davis with the step. Can't get the bucket. And it's back to Thomas. Thomas rejected by White. And the crowd back into this, whether if you're a London fan or a Windsor fan. Mordi again. Jeremiah Mordi. Composure. Terry Thomas at the line.
And that could be the difference there.
Got it. So it's a 13-point game. 5:33 to go. And that takes us to the media timeout. A timeout well needed for both of these clubs as the London Lightning are up 103-90 here on NBLC TV. Windsor Express Playoff Basketball is presented by Accountability.
Meatballs don't grow on trees. Or do they? Plant-based Beyond Meatballs are now at Subway. Try them on the mouth-watering Beyond Meatball Marinara Sub. Beyond Meatballs, only at Subway. The new deluxe pizza sub from Subway. Tasty pizza bread, filled with your favorite pizza toppings. Don't forget the napkins. Dig in to Subway's new deluxe pizza sub today.
Game here as the Express are down 13 points, looking for a way to get back into this one. Shot clock is at 8. Davis, guarded by Mordi, gets the 3. So Drake DeMore, things are shaping up for what would be a thrilling finish. However, the lead is back down to 10.
No doubt about it. I mean, we still could get that exciting finish. Could be coming in a different fashion, but one thing that the Express can really do is drive off this crowd right here in Windsor. It's so loud I can barely even think.
And a big turnover here away from Here's Jackson for the slam. Well, you talk about the crowd getting into it. There you go. And Doug Plum calls a timeout.
Feed off it, because we've seen these guys at the line. We've seen how loud that the Windsor Express crowd can be. Getting in the London Lightning's head, we might need the 6th man to do that.
Well, and now it's a matter of how can they keep that momentum going with 4:41 to go. We'll keep it here. But remember, the Lightning were up by as much as 12 points, and now it's back down to an 8-point game. So we've seen, I think, the most underrated factor for the Windsor Express here tonight is the ability of the small guys. Jamyron Jackson. We've seen Latin Davis, even though he had 4 fouls in the game, take charge, get his 5th foul out of that. And we said it even when it happened. That takes a lot of guts. Now we saw Jamyron Jackson get a slam on the other hand, courtesy of Justin Moss. Hey, they could leave it up to the small guys, or they could go back to their 1-2 punch in Moss and Billy White. But mind you, Justin Moss is in foul trouble. Same with Billy White, 3 apiece.
That being said, I think we might see a little bit of every piece of the pie right now. That being said, going forward for the next 4 minutes here, they're going to have to make some changes in and out. Use your guys smartly as well. We talked about those smart shots and choosing those smart shots, but use your guys smartly as well. Just strategically building that roster, building that lineup is going to be very, very vital going forward.
Foul situation, Windsor with 14 fouls, 2 more to give. The Lightning with 3 fouls, 3 more to give. And keep in mind, too, the Express went over the limit with about 4 to 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. And then London got into foul trouble in the dying moments of the 3rd quarter. So both of these clubs, despite the advantage that the Lightning have, are back at even strength. And when both of these clubs are back in even strength, the crowd surely tells you that this game is right back into it too. They're on their feet. Remember, a handful of Lightning fans made the trip down to the WFCU Center. There's been a lot of talk on social media trying to come down to this game and Thursday night's game, and they're making their presence known here today.
Definitely see some yellow in the crowds here.
A lot of black and yellow, a lot of black and red. 4:30 to go here in the fourth. Nuga ahead to Isom. Here's Haley, one of the X factors for the Lightning in this postseason. Haley pulls up for a three. That's off. And Justin Moss snags that one down. That's his 8th rebound. Davis looking for Billy White. White with 8 to shoot. White on the bounce, spins around and scores it. 103-97. And here's Terry Thomas guarded by Kalist. All alone is Mordi over Moss. Short. And that's going to be a Lightning ball. Should be Lightning ball because Latin Davis jumped in and tapped it last.
Yeah.
And John Kutch checks back in. That is a wise move from Doug Plum, knowing that they need a lot of firepower in terms of rebounds. They are being out-rebounded 40-34.
We've seen a critical one there from Justin Moss. You know, that's why he's on the court right now, to try to pick up those rebounds.
In game 2, the points of the paint situation, London 66, Windsor 28. Tonight, close. London 46, Windsor 44. It goes to show that Windsor's adjustment So Jackson at the line, leading scorer for the Express, tied leading scoring of the game, and he's now the leading scorer with 29. First trip of the free throw line, 29, 7, and 1, and he only has 1 foul. For those of you tuning in straight from the Blue Jays game, we're in for a close one. Jackson hits it. It is now a 4-point game, 3:35 to go here in the fourth. And Jackson Brad Bondi of the Brad Bondi Real Estate Team hyping the crowd up. There's no better hype man than the longtime fan of the Windsor Express over these last 10 seasons, and they're going to need it. 43 seconds to go. The Express with the ball because Jermaine Haley lost control of it near the sideline, and the Express could go for the tie or cut the lead back into one. So many scenarios, but again, looking at the scoring situation, Jamiron Jackson has 30 points, but he's 4 of 10 from downtown, Drake.
And that's the difference maker. I mean, we see him from downtown almost all the time, just successful, but today doing something a little bit different, and it's been working for him. That being said, Aaron, yes, we're going to have an exciting 43 seconds here no matter what. Do they go for the tie? Do they come within contention? Again, they're in the foul, or yeah, in the bonus situation here. That could come into play as well.
They're 12 of 34 from downtown, 35%, topping the London Lightning by 4%. It's thrown in to Davis. Davis is looking for a 3-2. Got the screen from Moss, and now it's in the hands of Billy White. Davis. Blocked.
What the heck?
It's blocked, and Moss saves it. Shot clock winding down, though. Moss is going in for 2. Goes back to a 1-point game. 21.7 seconds to go. But remember, the Lightning have the ball, and the shot clock's running. They're both identical, and that's going to be a foul. That's the Express's last foul to give with 16.1 seconds to go. So the Express have to be careful here in this trip. Latin Davis and Jason Calise with 5 fouls. White Moss with 3. Jackson with only 1. Mordi, Haley, and Nuga with 3 fouls apiece. 1-point game. So it looks like the Express are out of fouls to give. Technically, both of these clubs are in the bonus. Overtones of game 1. That's how close
Indeed.
This game is.
Could come down to exactly that.
So Nuga will throw it in. Nuga inside, and Davis fouls, and with that, that ends his game. So Davis picked up his 6th foul. Free throws coming up, and Isom gets it to go. Makes both, and a timeout from Bill Jones. 110 to 107 with under 15 seconds. Both of these clubs now in the bonus. Latin Davis has fouled out. So now they're going to have to rely on somebody else. You have to wonder who that might be. Remember, we haven't seen Ja'Kai Taylor play as much. Remember, coming right back into the lineup for the first time since April 21st, getting his first few minutes into this year's postseason. Could come down to him. Maybe. It may come down to Jamiron Jackson, too, leading all scorers with 30 points. Billy White with his 27 and 12 game. Justin Moss near a double-double, too. 15 and 9. All those opportunities, possibilities.
It never ends. It just never ends. And so nail-biting if you're a Windsor Express fan, as well if you're a London Lightning fan. I'm sure that they got the confidence in their team, as they always have for many, many years. But for the Windsor Express to be doing this and playing to this level with the London Lightning, that is something that should be raising some eyebrows to all fans and beyond the NBLC.
The London Lightning has led for most of the second half, outscoring the Windsor Express 58 to 51. Not big of a difference, but the way they exploded in the third quarter is what people have to pay attention to. Outscoring them 35 to 18. Now the Express will have the ball on the other end of the court. And And it looks like Latin Davis is going to stay on the floor. Maybe a discrepancy in the fouls, but we will find out. Here we go with 12 seconds to go. The Express looking for the tie. Davis over to White, and he throws it away with 4.6 seconds to go, and that is a cardinal sin. Costly mistake for the Express, and Billy White knows it. So they're really going to have to tighten up on the defense, but that may be the dagger here with 4.6 seconds to go. Over to Isom. Isom takes 2 seconds off the clock. But it's not a problem for Doug Plum and company, as they are about to take a 2-1 series lead into this final series.
Hard-fought battle for both teams, especially the Windsor Express. Coming back in that fourth quarter just wasn't enough, obviously, and a few vital mistakes really was the dagger, as you mentioned, Aaron.
A rare mistake from Billy White. That's all it took, as Isom knocks both of them down. 2 seconds to go, and Khalees will just fling it away, and that's the ball game. The London Lightning are now a win away from their 6th NBL Canada Championship. They do that by defeating the Windsor Express 112-107. Hard-fought game, and the Express very close from coming back, but close does not cut it here in this best-of-5 championship series. We'll be back in just a moment for the NBLC TV post-game show in just a moment.